Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Let's get Instagram going here. How's everybody doing today? I am Cliff, author of Power Up Book, serial entrepreneur, mentor to an awesome community that I have on the Skool app. And I will put a link to that in the description in case you are not part of my free community of entrepreneurs that I mentor. In fact, I'm going to start things off with a drawing because every 100 members, I've been doing a giveaway of 1 hour of free coaching. And normally I cost $100. That's what I charge on Fiverr for that. And so I've already done this once with Ashley in my community, and that was awesome. And Ashley learned a lot from Ashley, and she seemed to be pretty inspired and had a great time. And I look forward to coaching someone else here. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to find out who our next person is who's going to get a free 1 hour. Let's see. Share screen. Let's do my entire screen. That's fine. Okay. All right. I've got the wheel up here. And 4 people who are level 2 commented on the giveaway post that I had put up. So every time I put up a post that's a milestone that we've hit, 200, soon to be 300 members in my community, anyone who comments on that and is level 2 in my community, it gets a free spin for a drawing for free coaching. And to get level 2, you just need to make comments or give likes. It's really easy. And to get to level 2, it only takes 5 points. So it's very simple. All right, let's take a spin. We have Caleb, Mike, Carolyn, and Brandon. Let's see who wins free coaching. It looks like it's Mike. Mike, you're the lucky winner. So I will follow up with you and send you a message, and we'll set up a time to coach. Let's stop the sharing. There we go. All right. So I do have some questions for today from the community. And yeah, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. I've had a crazy week. Uh, I made a mistake I wanted to share with everybody. I created a website with an AI tool built into it that helps people get business ideas. And the idea behind that was also to connect Google Ads to it, right? So the more traffic I get to that, I can make some ad revenue. Well, connecting Google Ads wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. And everything worked out except for the end when Google took a look at my site and said, well, this is well, they didn't say this verbatim, but this is what they said. There's just not enough going on, right? So we won't put ads on this site. You need to fix these things. So I went back to Fiverr and looked for people to fix things, and no one would really respond on what to fix. They just kept saying obvious things. Well, yeah, ads rejected, because you don't have enough content. And I'm like, well, I know that, right? That's why I'm contacting you. But then no one wanted to do anything, and I finally found someone that I paid to look into it and find out what the issue was. And they finally came up with a few things that were really the answers on what my issue was. So I paid them just to find that issue. And then I went back to the original person who designed my website and said, oh, by the way, we have to redo the whole thing. And then I have to pay them more to redo it. So that's been a learning experience for me. And if anyone wants any more information about that, you can send me a message in my community and I can give you more of the details. But I just want to share that things sometimes don't work out, and you learn from those experiences and you learn to do it better. And in my case, I learned to teach it better to people who want to do something similar so that they don't make the mistakes that I have made, because it's been a little costly. It just keeps costing me money. But that's just part of figuring things out in entrepreneurship, right? So I'm going to talk about the first topic here from Jen. Shout out to Jen from Jenny. She asked me the 3 most critical behaviors and the 3 most critical tools. And she kind of made them both one term. I decided to break them up into 2 different things. So there are 3 most critical behaviors for entrepreneurs that I feel right now are really important, and I'm going to share those. So the first one is perseverance. That is a critical behavior. And the reason perseverance is so important is that as an entrepreneur, you need to be able to keep doing things. And go through the highs and the lows. Most people who start any type of online business or social media and they want to grow, they last about 30 days, maybe 60 days if they're really trying. And that's really difficult. So perseverance is important because your first 30, 60 days are probably the hardest. It's just you have no one watching you or have no one commenting and no hardly any followers and no business coming into your website or whatever it is you're trying to do. So that you have to persevere through that. That's going to be a really rough and awful time, is when you first get started. So if you persevere past that, if you record, 20 YouTubes, if you make it longer than 60 days, you are far ahead of most other people. So perseverance is key as an entrepreneur. You need to work through those things and keep going, even though you're not seeing the returns, because it's not built easily. It's not built quickly either. And if it were easy and quick, everyone would do it. Now, there's someone popular on the Skool app that is making, I don't know, 30,000 a month. I mean, he's just doing amazing. He's a huge YouTube personality and he's got like 1 million followers. And he showed some videos of his coaching when he was first starting out and was basically a nobody. And this coach was just laying into him because this guy didn't want to do the work, but his coach was like, you need to do the work. You know what you need to do. You need to go do it. Stop complaining. Stop whining. And I guess it's interesting because he obviously put in the perseverance, but the point is he started somewhere as well. And he started somewhere where he didn't want to do what needed to be done. He didn't have the perseverance. And the coach was calling him out on that you need to have that perseverance. You need to do what you need to do. So in entrepreneurship, it's very simple, but it's different when you're feeling it and trying to do it day after day and wanting to see some kind of returns and waiting for gains and waiting to see things happen. It's very difficult. So perseverance is really important. You're also going to have naysayers and people say that's just not a great idea, or that's, why don't you do this instead? Or I hear a lot of people fail at that. You're going to get a lot of naysayers and you need to persevere through that as well. So you've got an external factor of people emotionally beating you at times, right? Especially if you share your idea or that you tell someone that you're working on something, you're going to deal with that. And then also you're dealing with your own inner dialogue that, oh, I'm a failure and I didn't post social media today, or I didn't get something done I need to do. And you're not going to be able to win. You're not going to be successful. That's your inner voice that you need to kill pretty much, right? You need to just not listen to that inner voice. It needs to be the opposite. It needs to be, hey, I got up and I posted something today. I created something today. I did a thing. I paid a bill for my business. Whatever it is that your task is, or how small it is, that's a success. Your inner voice needs to be, good job. You did something. You got something done. You researched something. That's also a great victory for you. So that's all part of perseverance. Okay. You wrap all those things up and stay protected, protect yourself emotionally and physically, get lots of sleep, take care of your body, right? Okay, so that's part of perseverance. The second most critical behavior is discipline, and that does go hand in hand with perseverance. With discipline, motivation is you wanting to do something. Discipline is actually you doing something consistently, or at least on a daily basis, or just not without stopping. So, for example, when I get up, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I've hit over 1,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. It's not easy to do. I've spent months on this, and the discipline for me is getting up and realizing, okay, I need to create some content today to get subscribers on my YouTube channel. So the discipline is me doing it. It's getting something done. And it's the same for you with your business. You get up each day and you go to work, and we have all these distractions in life, but the discipline is, okay, I've checked off these things that I need to get done, whether it's work, family, exercise, all the things that are important to us. And then ultimately now it's time for me to spend some time working on my business, and whatever task that is, The fact that you are able to actually do something every day towards that, that is discipline. That is absolutely important. So it's a great critical behavior for an entrepreneur. The last one, actually, I think people are going to find surprising, and that is opportunistic. Being opportunistic is a critical behavior for an entrepreneur. And what I mean by being entrepreneuristic is that, excuse me, opportunistic. I got to say that 10 times. Uh, Being entrepreneurs, you see things that other people don't see. You see other opportunities that no one else sees. That is part of being an entrepreneur. You look at a market, you look at people, you look at things, and you go, you know what? No one is addressing this need, or if they are, they're not doing it well enough. And there's an opportunity for me to address that need, or to start a company or business or service that addresses that need. That is opportunistic. But it's also, when you're running your business, you are looking for things to do things quicker and easier. There's opportunity as well there. So when you look at your business, hey, how's it going? I see a chat there. Damn, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. I see you right there. Feel free to comment at any time, and I will interrupt my train of thought to talk to the chat. The more chatting and more excitement going, just the cooler it is. So I love that. Hello to you too. Um, Anyhow, opportunistic is when you're working a business and you see opportunities to improve. You see opportunities to get things done quicker, to get more done in less amount of time. That is another opportunity. So opportunity is not just the market. The opportunity is also seeing how can I do this better? And it's also seeing opportunities of, wow, these people really liked my business, this group of people. And I'll give you an example. With my first product, with my company, I saw that it was really popular with esports gamers and Twitch streamers and people who played hardcore video games. That was my first product. It was called the Glom Tom. What I also saw was popular. Hey, Walter, love to see you, man. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for dropping in. Just, yeah, chat with me. Let me know what you want to hear. It's great to hear from you, buddy. Anyhow, getting back to my company, what another segment that had a lot of interest was people who are cross stitching. Since this was an ergonomic product, people were sitting here cross stitching, and it became real popular with them. So there was an opportunity to build with the cross stitcher community, and I had cross stitchers that were on Twitch that would do that live. They would knit or cross stitch, and they sold so much product for me to their communities because it helped them so much. Twitch isn't just about video games. It's in cooking and stuff. It's people doing pretty much anything in life that they have a community watching them, right? So I guess there was an opportunity that presented itself. I saw it, I took advantage of it, and I made a lot of sales from that. And so that was really exciting. So, three critical behaviors: perseverance, discipline, and being opportunistic, right? Being able to strike and take action when an opportunity arises. Okay. Now, let's move on to the three most critical tools for being an entrepreneur. And this is more of a technological thing, but it is worth discussing here. So, for technology, the first thing is a smartphone. Now, I know that sounds really obvious, but for coaching people, it actually isn't when we get down to how you operate your business. So let me give you an example and break this down. Because you have a smartphone, you have your whole multimedia personal computer with you wherever you go. And you'd be amazed. Well, let me finish that thought. So if you got this personal computer with you and you've got multimedia functions and you've got cameras, the idea behind this, in that how I ran my first company and how I continue to do things today, if I can, is that your smartphone should be where you do most of your work. And the reason why is because it's really convenient. It's always on you. And you can mix in work when, like, if I'm in line at a grocery store, I'm on my community, seeing who's talking, responding to things. It's amazing what you can get in when you just integrate that into your life. So that's how you squeeze in a lot of activity and work and value, is having your smartphone. The next thing is creating content and filming video and creating videos. When you film videos with your phone, obviously people are doing that with TikTok and Reels on Instagram and whatnot. When you film video with your phone, use your phone to do the editing. A lot of people I talk to will actually film with their phones and then they'll transfer video files to their computer and use software. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just takes time to move those files back and forth. And it's a real drag. It just slows people down. So if you can get good at editing uh, videos on your smartphone, then you've got everything built into there. So I film, I edit on my smartphone, and I upload on my smartphone to YouTube, and then I cascade that footage to other apps and things using my smartphone. I keep all the work on my smartphone. That's the point. Okay. Try to do that. And then, of course, you're using that for your social media, your ideas, you're using it for pretty much everything. I recommend for people to do most of their work on their smartphones instead of pulling out a laptop at all times. Some people, if you really like your laptop, that's great. I'm just saying it's on you. You've got this powerful computer in your pocket that can do all these things. You might as well use that for your work. Okay. The second most critical tool is AI. Now that sounds really cliche, and everyone's talking about AI, and some people hate AI, and some people love it. And I've got to talk about the AI portion that. Yes, you can have AI write blog posts and things like that for you. And that's not so much what I'm talking about. I think that's a useful tool if you are really good at creating prompts in the AI and the AI is giving you good content. But what I'm talking about is just cutting out just tasks and work. So if there's things that you need to organize or format, for example, if I'm taking a bunch of content that I want to put on YouTube or my blog, and I'm copying it from a website from a really good article, but it's really high level, I'll put it in ChatGPT, and I'll tell ChatGPT to redo this entire passage in elementary school, like sixth grade reading level. And the reason why is because most people in our newspapers and everything in our country, particularly in the US, everything is printed and broadcast at pretty much the sixth grade reading level. And YouTube is no exception to that. When you work on YouTube videos and YouTube content, you want to make sure that you have that type of level. Like, you just want to break down and make things simple for people. Okay. It's easier to digest that way. So AI is great for formatting things like that. And so the point is that it cuts down tasks that would take forever, that would be boring and awful. It's amazing. And I don't think people use it enough because there's somewhat of a stigma with AI. And I just disagree with that. I think using it for busy work like that and organizing things and creating ideas for content, you can put prompts in the AI and have it create a year's worth of content ideas based on certain topics, so that you'll never have a chance of, I'm sorry, you'll never run out of things to be able to talk about and to be able to present in your social media. Okay, so the next thing, actually, speaking of social media, that's the third most critical tool. And again, that sounds really cliche, but I specialize in organic business marketing. In other words, I specialize in people building businesses that are low risk, low cost, and then don't have to use paid ads. Because when you build a business online, you've got a couple choices on how you're going to promote your business. One, you're going to pay for ads that cost a lot of money and may not work. Or second, you're going to go to social media and go for more of an organic approach. And for me, I just find there's no more powerful way to market than using social media. And so when I say social media, I don't mean you're not just putting up endless posts. And I'm going to talk more about this in a video. I'm going to create a video actually for my community about how to optimize social media. But what I'm saying basically is you use social media, and when you run a business with social media, your posts have to have some value. And I'm going to break down those a little bit more in the next section of this live that I'm doing here to close things out today. But social media is a tool to reach people you can never reach before. And it's a tool, more importantly, for your business. And listen closely. If you have a business and you leverage your social media, if you get people talking about your product and your business on social media, then you've got this amazing viral hit there of people showcasing your business and your brand. And you just can't pay for that. It's hard to get that with ads. So social media is about your community. Okay. So social media is the most critical tool. And so learning how to use it and picking the right one for you and your business and where your market is and where your customers are, that's going to be key. Okay. So that's the third most critical tool. So I had a question from Carolyn on how to break into social media. If you're forming a new business, and this is pretty much the last topic I have here, and I have some points here on how to break into social media, how to start your social media and get started. So a lot of this first of all, the first concept is it depends on the platform, and every platform is different. I'm not going to break them all down right here, but just know that each platform works differently and favors a certain type of content. And again, it's where your customers at. You have to do the research beforehand to know where your customers are. And if you know where your customers are, then you're going to be able to choose the right platform and then make the decision on how you're going to break into that platform. Okay. Uh, the second concept is that it's going to take a lot of time. And this is, again, what I bring back to what I said earlier about using your smartphone. It's going to take a lot of time. So you want to make sure it's convenient for you to be able to create content and do things on your smartphone, and just pick at this whenever you can. So in my company that I wrote my book about, and Power Up book that I sold, that I grew organically, I would be driving home from work and I would pull my car over for about 45 minutes and sit there in a parking lot and put out about 40 tweets on X. Just getting things done and promoting things and promoting people. So it took a lot of time, and it took that That's my third concept, is persistence. I did this every day if I could. And I would put out about 60 tweets a day. And I know that just making your head spin. Um, I it's not that I had to come up with 60 ideas, okay? What I was doing was helping people that were my ambassadors. I had no problem getting content because all my ambassadors for my product, I watched what they did. And if they were online live, for example, I would simply just get a picture of them and shout them out. And it took me less than a minute to create a tweet for that person, right? And so that content came from my community. That's the point. And so when I say doing 60 uh, tweets or 60 posts on social media, what I mean is that I was able to get a contact in the context of what was going on with my affiliates and my ambassadors. I would simply my social media feed became a ticker from my community. Okay. That's what I want. That's how I usually try to build my social media personally. That's my personal approach, is that I build a team of ambassadors and people that love my brand and my product, and I make that about them. And what happens is that attracts a lot of other people to my brand and to my product. And it's just a wonderful way to help people with what they're doing as well. Okay. So you have to get integrated with people and know what they're doing that appreciate your brand, and help them out, and they will help you back. Okay. Trust me on this one. Okay. The next is value. So what kind of value are you giving on your social media? There are three reasons why people follow social media and take on social media, and consume it. And it is entertainment, inspiration, and information. Yes. How do we approach people who are not in social media? Thamadur, that's a good question. So I'll pause the topic for a second. So if someone is not on social media, that is going to be a whole different outreach. They're going to be somewhere. If they're not on social media, then are they watching TV? What are they reading? Who are they visiting with? What part of organization are they part of? You have to find that. Takes a little more work, and that's probably more of a personal touch. You're going to find out where people are at on if they're not on social media. And I assume you're talking about people that or are you talking about reaching people who don't consume social media? Because that's a different channel. So, for example, my in-laws, they're boomers. My parents are boomers, boomer generation, and they're not on social media, right? So what reaches my parents? Well, media does. And they watch TV, they see commercials, they read about things in the Wall Street Journal or publications. And that is more expensive. It's more expensive to reach the boomers that way. It really is. And the only other way you might be able to reach those people is if you reach their children, who then reach out to them, right? And that's another tactic. So you have to decide: is that really the fruit on a tree that you want to go for? That's pretty high on the tree. The low hanging fruit are going to be people that are on social media that you can reach a lot easier. Because if people are on social media, then you're going to have to take it in person. And I do coach a lot of people who are starting businesses, that if it's a product that is tangible, or even a service that is somewhat tangible, where you can discuss it with people and it has a lot of value, you can have a booth at a farmer's market or something local and get involved and start small and showcase your product to people that way. And those people certainly are not on social media, because they are talking to you right there. And that is extremely powerful, but it's time consuming. You have to, and it can cost a little money to have a booth and set that up and get the things that you need to have for your booth to make it look nice, that will draw people in. It's a whole other art form to it. And I did that with my first company as well. I found a lot of power in going to conventions and having a booth. So I didn't use social media to make those ties, but then I was leveraging that later on with social media. So I hope that helps you a little bit. But getting back to what people want on social media, they want entertainment, inspiration, and information. So all of your content that you create, if you're creating content, it needs to be, it has to hit one of those things, and maybe two of those things, really. If it's entertainment and informational, and it entertains people, then that's going to be great. What's up, Walter? What do you got? If you're forced to use legacy media, you have to be extremely targeted. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, if you're on legacy media, it's companies that are on legacy media paint with broad brushes, and they target people, and they spend a lot of money on that. And that is not that's not the channel of business that I coach my people in my community to start with, because that's extremely expensive to get into that type of thing, right? To get into legacy media. So anyhow, make your post about value, entertainment, inspiration, information. And if you want to know what that looks like, look at your competition and see what they're doing. So make it about your community, your competition, and people out there that do really well on social media. Make it about their community. I mentioned earlier how I create 60 tweets a day in my first company. It was about my community. And so I rarely showed a picture of my product, because everyone gets bombarded every day with with pictures and, buy this, buy that. And it just wears down people. But what people seem to like every day is, what is this person up to? What is this person doing? People are nosy. And so, making posts about your community and what these people are up to, and using your product or your service or whatnot, is really powerful. That way you're not coming up with, well, what's another product feature I need to, I sell a certain product, and how am I going to show another picture of it, right? And what else am I going to say about it? You have to get out of that mentality. It's okay to have a picture of what you sell on your page, if you're drop shipping, for example. But in the end, you want to build an emotional connection with your community, and you want people to see that and be drawn to your product because of that emotional connection. And there's no faster way to build emotional connection than to use people, and use people in manners that are meaningful, right? Is it worth it to spend money for making awareness about your product or service? Okay, so that's a good question. Is it worth it to spend money to build awareness? I actually don't think money should be spent to build awareness. Money needs to be spent to bring money. So if you do any ads, or if you spend money on an influencer to bring people to your page, there has to be an immediate return on investment. That's what you measure, Thamadir. That's what you measure. So yeah, you need to measure sales, because you don't want to spend money unless you're getting some money back. A lot of big brands will spend money to build awareness, and that is part of the funnel. When people are aware of your product, and then you start to bring them in closer and closer until they get down to the bottom of the funnel where they actually purchase your product. But that's a lot of money to spend just to bring someone aware. So I am a big proponent on doing things that don't cost you money to build that product awareness. And again, when you make people share your product or share what you're saying about them to other people, that builds an enormous amount of brand awareness on social media, and you didn't spend a dime to do it. Okay. So I think with, things like TikTok and Instagram, you can create posts that can become viral, and that can really get you a long way towards brand awareness without having to spend money. If you do spend money for ads, just measure how much money you're making back. And again, I'm not a big ad person. I think ads are going to have a role to get people's business to another level. And I will probably use those at some point someday for myself. But again, what I teach my community is let's find ways to bring you money right now without ads. And if you do use ads, then yes, let's make sure you see that return on investment. Okay. Don't spend any money unless you get money back, because you can't sustain it. You're just going to keep losing money. So I hope that helps you there. All right. Next concept here. Measure everything. When you create social media accounts, you want to make sure that you convert them to professional business accounts, because when you do that, for example, on Instagram or Pinterest, they open up a whole suite of analytics. And on your smartphone, you should be able to look at those analytics and see what's effective and see which posts are doing really well. Then you have to analyze, why are they doing well? And if you can just at a glance see what's working, then you can double down on what's working and continue to bring more followers and likes and awareness right on your social media. So measure all of that. And I measure my YouTube, for example, where most of my viewers are they men or women? And which shorts or long form, you just look at all these things and which ones are getting the most views and start building on that. So use those analytics and data, experiment and be inspired. And that goes with, after you measure everything, just take chances and just do things. Again, most people just give up and they don't try anything new. A lot of this is trial and error. The things that I found out that worked for me on social media with my first company, it was trial and error. And I stumbled upon things just by experimenting and finding out what worked. So, for example, a woman took a picture of herself with my product, and I posted that on my social media. And then what happened is a lot of other people, a lot of particularly women, started taking pictures of themselves with my product, and it became this thing. And men did that too. But I guess the point is that this started a trend that people saw and adopted, and it really helped my product go viral and helped my brand go viral. So I wouldn't have known that unless I experimented a little bit and tried different things. And it's okay, because everyone has a short memory for the most part in social media. And if you have stuff that bombs, and let's face it, I have a lot of things that bomb too. So you just put it out there and you just move on and keep trying new things until you find something that works. Okay. Know that many followers are fake or bots. This is a huge thing. And why I say this is that you're going to look at other accounts that you think are doing well, especially on Instagram, and you're going to be like, wow, how are they doing so well? And then you look at their posts and there's like 2 likes, but they have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Just be aware that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors on social media, and there's a lot of people that buy followers or bots and that make them puffed up and look big, because there's this appearance thing. And a lot of social media is fake, and there's just a lot of claims. Like on YouTube, I'm dealing with that in entrepreneurship. There's a ton of channels that people are saying, I'll help you make I figured out how to make $1,000 a day, right? And they'll put a big thumbnail up that shows $1,000 a day, and without no work, with it's easy, right? And it's just, I hate that, because if it was like that easy, everyone, again, I say this, that everyone would do it and it'd be this big. It would not be this secret, right? But they would get a lot of views because people are attracted to being told it's easy, and being attracted to being told that's a lot of money. And I understand that, right? It's a very tantalizing promise. Do you want to make a ton of money and it's easy and you don't have to work? Hey, sign me up, I'm there. Whereas if I have a video that comes out and I say it's hard, it's going to take work, is that going to be popular on YouTube? No, it's not. People aren't going to be attracted to a title like that. Hard work and dedication and perseverance, that's what's going to make you a good entrepreneur. That's not popular. People don't want to see that. They don't want to hear that, because they don't want to do those things. So just know that what you're seeing out there as you start out, don't compare yourself to those people like that, because a lot of it is fake. What you're doing is going to be real, and just be patient with that. Okay. The next thing is video is king. Again, use your smartphone, film videos, get good at making videos. I have a playlist on how to edit videos using the InShot app on your iPhone or your Google Android device. InShot has a free plan and they have a paid plan that really isn't that much. I use InShot for all my video editing, and I just think being able to film and edit videos, really easily would make all the difference in the world when you can create content, right? If you know those skills. So it's free. Just look on my playlist on my channel. Yep. If everyone was super, no one would be. I love that from The Incredibles. I quote that line with my kids all the time, Walter. It's such a good line. Um, but yeah, so get good at making little videos and shorts. They don't have to be high production, but in fact, this raw type video format is just really popular right now. So it's never been an easier time to get into social media and start creating content without having to really do a lot of fancy editing and things like that. Okay. Um, don't buy followers or likes. That will be tempting to you. Do not do that, because what happens is that if you have a bunch of bots on Instagram, for example, that you've bought, then that company can remove those bots at any time, or that Instagram will remove those bots from your channel, and you'll start, or your channel, but your following and your profile, and it'll mess up your metrics, because then you're thinking, well, what am I doing that's getting me more subs, because my sub level keeps going down or my follower level keeps going down. It just messes everything up, and it doesn't, these companies, Google, YouTube, Meta with Facebook and Instagram, they're smart. You can't fool them with all these bots and followers. You might be able to fool people who see your channel and go, oh, wow, you have thousands of followers. Wow, you must be pretty popular. Well, if it's mostly bots, then, it's going to affect everything on your personal end, and you're not going to make any money. You're going to get frustrated. So it's better to have like 100 engaged followers than 1,000, non-engaged followers and bots and whatnot. So don't do that. Don't do don't do follow for follow either. That's exhausting, and people don't follow up on that. And even though you've got real people following you, they're not going to engage with um, your channel, and the algorithms don't like that either when you put stuff out and you don't get real engagement. So just be true, be honest, just get the real people, the right people, and keep working at it, because you don't want to just get followers to get followers. But I get it, starting out is really awful, and it's very emotional and draining, and just you feel just discouraged when you do that. It's not fun, and I want you to know I understand that. But don't buy followers, okay, or likes. Just interact with crazy. Get on these, whatever channel you're on, whatever social media you're on. Take the most popular people that have your market, that have the followers that you want. Go and interact with their channel and bring value. And I say, don't when I say that, don't go and just show your product and just spam the chat and say this is me and look at what I've got. And no, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you get on there and contribute to the conversation and just be real and be fun and be positive, and that will attract people, and that's going to bring value to that creator of that profile or that channel as well. So it's a win-win for everyone, and you might start to build a relationship with that influencer as you continue to contribute. So just get in, and again, this is one of those things that you pull out your smartphone and you just do, maybe while you're standing in line at the store, or sitting around waiting for a doctor's appointment or something like that. Whatever it is, that's a moment for you to get on and interact a little bit. This should be just organic and woven into your life as an entrepreneur. So that's what I have there. Anyone watching have any more questions? Because I am going to wrap it up and end the live session here. But I just want to thank you all for being here and watching. It's a great Saturday, and it's just great to see you all here interacting, and I appreciate all of you. So yeah, nothing coming up. So thank you, everybody, and just remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not, and I do these every Saturday if I can. And thank you so much, Jim. Thank you. I appreciate the comment. Jim says, great stream. I really appreciate this. This means the world to me. We'll be back for sure. Thanks, Walter. I love that. Yeah, there's going to come a day where there's going to be things I'm talking about for my community, but there's going to be just a lot of questions coming from the chat, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Thank you for your time, Thamidir. I hope you got something from this. Thanks for asking your questions. Everyone keep powering up, okay? I'll be back next Saturday. My community link will be in the description of this video for my free community on Skool. That's where I interact and mentor with a lot of people. And then my channel has the link. If you just look at my channel, you'll see the link right there in my description there for my community. But thank all of you. I want to keep talking. I could talk all day about this kind of stuff, but I know all of you got something to do and I've got things to do. So keep powering up and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.